Hello students, good morning everyone. Hope everyone is fine and taking care of yourself in this pandemic situation. I am Sunamani Kumari and will be teaching you all biology. Today we will see the syllabus of the biology of class 11 and its unit-wise marks. The syllabus of biology comprises of 5 units and I request you all to note down the syllabus and its marks. So, the syllabus of biology comprises of 5 units. Unit 1 is diversity of living organism, which comprises of 12 marks. Unit 2 structural organizations in plants and animals, which comprises of 12 marks. Unit 3 cell structure and function, which is comprises of 12 marks. And unit 4 plant physiology, which comprises of 17 marks. 5 human physiology, which comprises of 17 marks, where the total marks of theory will be your 70 and the rest 30 marks it will be on practical. Now we will see what courses we should cover. Under unit 1, that is diversity of living organism, there is 4 chapters. In chapter 1, that is the living world, we will learn about what is living, biodiversity, need for classification, 3 domains of life, taxonomy of systematics, concept of species, taxonomical hierarchy, binomial nomenclatures, tools for study of taxonomy museums, what is zoological parks, what is herbaria, botanical gardens, keys for identification. Under chapter 2, that is biological classification, we will learn about 5 kingdom classification, salient features and classifications of monoera, protista and fungi into major groups, lichens, what is virus, viroids. Under chapter 3, that is plant kingdom, we will learn about the salient features and classification of plants into major groups, that is algae, bryophyta, theridophyta, gymnosperms and angiosperm, salient and distinguishing features and a few examples of its category. Angiosperm classifications after a class, characteristic features and examples. Under chapter 4, that is animal kingdom, we'll learn about the salient features and classification of animals, non-chordates up to phyla level and chordates up to class level. Under salient features and distinguishing features of a few example of each category. And when practical will be done, there should be no live animals or a specimen should be displayed. In unit 2, that is structural organization in animals and plants, there is 3 chapters, chapter 5, chapter 6 and chapter 7. In chapter 5, that is morphology of flowering plants, we'll learn about the morphology and modification, morphology of different parts of flowering plants, that is roots, stems, leaf, inflorescence, flower, fruits and seeds, and description of 3 families, that is you can say Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae, and which is to be dealt along with the relevant experiment of the practical syllabus. In chapter 6, that is anatomy of flowering plants, we will learn about the anatomy and function of different tissues and tissue systems and dicots and monocots, secondary growth also. In chapter 7, that is structural organization in animals, we will learn about the animal tissues, their morphology, anatomy and functions of different systems like digestive, circulatory, respiratory, nervous and reproductive of an insect, cockroach. Then the next unit 3, that is cell structure and function, which is very important and interesting also. Unit 3 comprises of 3 chapters, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10. Chapter 8, cell, the unit of life. Here we will learn about the cell theory, cell as the basic unit of life, then structure of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, plant cell and animal cell, cell envelope, cell membrane, cell wall, cell organelles, structures and function, endomembrane system, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, vacuoles, mitochondria, liposomes, plastids, microbodies, cytoskeleton, cilia, flagella, centrioles, that is other structures and functions, nucleus. In chapter 9, that is biomolecules, we'll learn about the chemical constituents of living cells, biomolecules, structures and functions and proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, nucleic acids, enzyme types, properties, and enzyme action. In chapter 10, we will learn about the cell cycle, mitosis, meiosis, and their significance. In unit 4, that is plant physiology, which is a little bit versed, and it contains of 17 marks. This unit, it comprises of your 5 chapters. Chapter 11, that is transport in plants. Here we will learn about the movement of gases, waters, nutrients, cell to cell transport, diffusion, about facilitated diffusion, active transport, plant water relations, imbibitions, what is water potential, osmosis, plasmolysis, long distance transport of water, absorption, apoplus, symplus, transpiration pool, root pressure and guttation, transpiration, opening and closing of stomata, uptake and translocations of mineral nutrients, transport of food, phloem transport, and mass flow hypothesis. In chapter 12, that is mineral nutrition, here we'll learn about basically about the minerals and macro and micronutrients, their role also, the efficiency symptoms, mineral toxicity, elementary idea of hydroponics, and about the nitrogen metabolism, about nitrogen cycle, and what is about biological nitrogen fixation. In chapter 13, that is photosynthesis in higher plants, is very important. Here we'll learn about photosynthesis, site of photosynthesis, pigments involved in photosynthesis, photochemical and biosynthetic phases of photosynthesis, cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation, chemiosmotic hypothesis, photorespiration, C3 and C4 pathways, and factors affecting photosynthesis. Chapter 14, that is your respiration in plants. Here we learn about the exchange of gases, cellular respiration, glycolysis, fermentations, TCA cycle, what is electron transport system. We'll learn about the energy relation, number of ATP molecule generated, amphibolic pathways, and respiratory quotient. Chapter 15, that is plant growth and development. Here we'll learn about the seed germination and the phases of plant growth and plant growth rate, conditions required for growth, differentiation, redifferentiation, sequence of developmental process in plant cell, growth regulators, that is we learn in details about auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, ethylene, AB, that is abscisic acid, seed dormancy. Then we'll learn about the vernalization and photoperiodism. Then the last unit 5, that is human physiology. It comprises of 7 chapters. In chapter 16, that is digestion and absorption, we'll learn about the alimentary canal and digestive glands, role of digestive enzymes and gastrointestinal hormones, peristalsis, digestion, absorption and assimilation of proteins, carbohydrates and fats, digestion, nutritional and digestive disorders, protein energy malnutrition, indigestion, constipations, vomiting, jaundice and diarrhea. Under chapter 17, that is breathing and exchange of gases, we will learn about respiratory organs in animals, respiratory systems in humans, mechanism of breathing and its regulation in humans, exchange of gases, transport of gases, regulations of respiration, respiratory volume disorders related to respiration, that is asthma, emphysema, occupational respiratory disorders. Under chapter 18, body fluids and circulation, we'll learn about the composition of blood groups, coagulation of blood, composition of limb and its function, human circulatory system, structures of human heart and blood vessels, cardiac output, EGC, double circulation, regulation of cardiac activity, disorders of circulatory system, hypertension, coronary artery disease, angina pectoris, heart failure. Under chapter 19, excretory products and their elimination, here we'll learn about the modes of excretion, ammonotalism, urotalism, uricotalism, human excretory system, structures and function, urine formation, osmoregulation, regulation of kidney functions, renin, angiotensin, arterial natriuretic factor, ADH, and diabetes insipidus. Then the role of other organs in excretion, disorder, urinemia, renal failure and renal calculi, nephritis, dialysis, and artificial kidney of transplant. In chapter 20, locomotion and movement, here we learn about the movement, types of movement. That is ciliary, flagellar, muscular. Then about skeletal muscles, contractile proteins and muscles, contractions, skeletal system and its function, joints, disorders of muscles, muscular and skeletal systems, myasthenia gravis, tetany, muscular dystrophy, arthritis, osteoporosis, gout. Under chapter 21, that is neural control and coordination, here we will learn about basically about neurons and nerves, and about the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, visceral nervous system, generation and conduction of nerve impulse, reflex action, sensory perception, sense organs, alimentary structures and functions of ear and eye. Then the last, that is chapter 22, that is chemical coordination and integration. You will learn about the endocrine glands and hormones, human endocrine system, hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, thyroid, parathyroid, adrenal, pancreas, gonads, mechanism of hormone action. Then the roles of hormones as messengers and regulators, hypo and hyperactivity and related disorders, dwarfism, acromegaly, cretinism, goiter, exophthalmic goiter, diabetes. Addition digits. Thank you for your patience. From tomorrow we will start the new chapter 1, the living world, which is under unit 1, diversity of living organism. So see you tomorrow then. Till then, take care. Bye.